Welcome again, everybody, to the show. Welcome, viewers. Don't forget the lines to use will be on the screen in a minute. Please interact via text messages and WhatsApp messages. And quickly, public service announcement still on monkeypox. The WHO is reporting that the cases are increasing worldwide, so let's be careful, guys. And on the home front, the NCDC has just released on its website the information that monkeypox can be transmitted through sex. All right. Yeah. Now, symptoms, according to the NCDC, of monkeypox to watch out for include fever, headache, body aches, weakness, swollen lymph nodes or glands, and a rash. After about 1 to 3 days of fever, the rash erupts, beginning on the face and then spread into the body, with the face and the palms or the soles of the feet being mostly affected. They can also occur in and around the genitalia, which is why contact during sex is one mode of transmission, and it is mostly a self-limiting illness that often lasts for 2 to 4 weeks. What that means is usually is expected that between 2 to 4 weeks, you know, the virus should have gone through its full life cycle, just to put it lightly, all right, and you're supposed to be okay. But then what makes it dangerous is if you have an underlying illness, like the fatal case that's been recorded in Nigeria. The person had issues with kidney thing, I think, and that can actually portend a danger for you, all right, if you have an underlying illness and then you catch monkeypox, which is why you do not want to catch monkeypox, all right. Don't forget, you can get it through sex, so let's be careful out there. Also, malaria-like symptoms can be a sign of monkeypox, all right? Now, it can begin with the malaria or the flu-like symptoms, and then 1 to 2 days later, then you begin to have more specific symptoms. So if you're beginning to have malaria, let's not just put everything down to malaria. Let's be watchful, observe yourself, all right? And once you begin to break out in a rash, please go straight to the hospital and get yourself treated properly. All right, away from monkeypox, let's go to an issue that trended towards the end of last week, the whole of that, and through the weekend, and even till now is still being passed around in some quarters. Presidential aspirant Bola Ahmed Tinubu set social media ablaze last week Thursday after videos of him surfaced online where he alleged that without him, President Muhammadu Buhari would not have won the presidential elections in 2015. Tinubu also took a swipe at Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, and he also said he nominated the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, as Buhari's running mate to prevent a political stalemate within his party, the APC. He was speaking at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta in Ogun State while addressing APC delegates in the state ahead of APC's primaries, which is supposed to be today. Okay, so these videos, I'm sure, like a huge percentage of Nigerians and even non-Nigerians have seen this video because it trended seriously all through from Thursday through the weekend and is still being viewed online. But just in case you just crawled out from under a rock and you missed this video, let's check it out. We'll be back.
Kò lè di president ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀ ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀ ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀ ó tiẹ̀ sunkún lórí tẹlifíṣàn pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́ mo dẹ̀ lọ bá ń Kaduna wa rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún kọ́ lélẹ̀ àdúró tiẹ̀ wàá dẹ̀ wọlé. Nǹkan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré ó dẹ̀ gbà àtijọ́ tó rẹ̀ ti débẹ̀ mi ò gba mínísítà mi ò gba contract mi tọrọ ọbẹ̀ mi tọrọ gàrí lọ́tẹ̀ yìí o. Yorùbá ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ sa Yorùbá náà, èmi ló kàn. Eléyìí tí mo protect àwọn ọmọ tí mo gbé dání tó, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣe present.
Welcome back. Now, following the scathing remarks of presidential aspirant Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the leadership of the APC has actually reacted to the comments, and according to the party leader Adamu, he stated that the former Lagos governor's outburst, that's Tinubu's outburst, was unbecoming of a leader of his stature, adding that the party found his latest attack on the president as insulting. All right, gentlemen, let's talk. Now, as Nigerians, we all know, we are all aware, we can all testify as to Tinubu's weight when we talk about Southwest politics, all right? And we know that he has been a kingmaker of some sort, you know, in that regard. Now, judging by his years of experience and the political weight and power he does carry and all of that, would you have expected this kind of statements coming from someone who should know how weighty, you know, this kind of words are, especially during an electioneering year or period and all of that? And also, is this accepting coming from him?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he should have been a little more tactful. I mean, he's a very successful politician, very wealthy man, and he has met a lot of politicians. And he was very instrumental in cobbling together the alliance, political union that made Buhari president. We all know that, and we all respect that. But then when the individual begins to give the impression it's all about me, not about an ethnic group, not about the nation, not about the good of the country, then it worries us. Because the thing is, he's showing his bitterness, not that power is not coming south or not coming to the Yoruba, but it's not coming directly, exclusively to him. And he said, it's the turn of the Yorubas. That's fine. Osibanjo is a Yoruba man. Fayemi is a Yoruba man. There are too many qualified Yorubas that can be president. But his beef is that it must be me or no one else. That's the problem I have. Where you've made a lot of people, evidently somebody made you. But the man that made you, is he sitting on your head and telling you, you must do it in line with my design and my design only. You may have contributed in Buhari's election to the presidency, just as some people contributed to your being a governor in the past. And after being the governor, you have dictated your successors, one after the other.
Consistently.
So is Buhari, who is the president, is it not his prerogative also to dictate his successors just as you have done?
But is that constitutional, though?
Well, can it be constitutional? It's not constitutional.
It's not.
We are human beings here. Write all the constitution you want. Write all the constitution you want. You cannot change human nature. But as long as it's not illegal, then you have done nothing wrong. So Buhari is trying to dictate or determine who will take over from him. Moreover, what do Nigerians think? Because it's me. If you put Buhari, if you put Tinubu as the presidential candidate for APC, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a political scientist, I'm not a political analyst, but as far as I'm concerned, APC has lost the election.
You think so?
Because Nigerians are beginning to look for younger candidates. That's the trend. Nigerians are beginning to look for more, for lack of word, let me say, honest politicians. Nigerians are beginning to look for more healthier politicians. And I don't know about his, but what we are seeing indicates he's not that young. What we are seeing indicates that he's not that credible, is not that honorable, and what we are seeing is that he's not that healthy. So Nigerians will reject him in the polls.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zikama. Now, to come to you, Mr. Chief of Ose, everything stated by Tinubu in that video has been confirmed by Mr. Zikama as information we were all privy to, even before now. We all knew he had a part to play in who became what and who won what and all of that. But him coming to put that information by himself in the public domain in the way he did, that is what people are not happy about. How did you perceive the comments? Did you see the comments as statements of facts or as an affront?
It's not a statement of fact. That's what I'm going to read from what BBC reports in 2015 to you. The reason why the coalition picked Mr. Buhari at the time was that Mr. Buhari has consistently garnered 12 million votes, where those votes never come from the South-South, Southwest, and Southeast. Mainly South, Northwest, and North Central. I mean, Northwest and Northeast.
So that showed him as a worthy candidate?
I'm coming, yes. That is the reason why the coalition went for him. And in the 2015 election, what did, apart from Buhari, what did the entire coalition bring to Buhari's final result? 3 million votes. Just 3 million votes. We have to be very clear about this. Just 3 million votes. Mr. Buhari scored 15,424,921 votes. 3 million votes.
Only.
Now, that is what Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Bukola Saraki, Atiku Abubakar, Kwankwaso, and the rest brought to the table.
But those were 3 million deciding votes.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That means, I'm coming. That means Jonathan, who was the sitting president, took the position of Buhari to get 12 million votes. All right? That's 3 million votes. Now go back to how Buhari won. All right? It's very clear. Buhari won the entire South, Northwest. Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger, Kaduna. All right? He won the entire South, Northeast. All right? He won the entire Northeast. He didn't win in Nasarawa. He didn't win in Plateau State, Taraba, and FCT. Jonathan won. Now, come back to the South. Jonathan won in Ekiti. Asiwaju did not deliver Ekiti too. That's the only place Jonathan won. Perhaps because the PDP governor was there. Now, coming back to making, because we are talking about facts, we are not talking about fiction. Coming back to making, I sit down here to appreciate and actually, for the lack of a better word, admire the political sagacity of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, what he has done over the years. Now, you knew what happened during Obasanjo. It was the only one that couldn't be dethroned, as it were. Now, coming back to this, if Asiwaju, let's say Southwest brought 1 million votes, all right, in total, Southwest brought 1 million votes. Which another part of the country brought votes? Because if you take 1 million votes that Southwest brought to 1.5 million, 1.something million votes that Southwest brought to what is it called? To Buhari, the vote would have died. It would have been a tie. Now, don't also forget that before then, there were Asiwaju loyalists in the Southwest, not only Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There were those who admire what he does. Perhaps we could say that they don't have enough ingredients to win him an election. But for someone to openly, in a statement, trying to ask delegates to vote for you, denigrate the president, saying that he's tried the first time, he failed. It is a wrong choice of word. He tried the second time, he failed. It is a wrong choice of word. He tried the third time, he failed. And you want to take over from this same man. He said, if you want to catch a thief, behave like a thief. All right? Now, you are telling him that when you came in, he won. that means he must give it to you. Like they said in my place, the person that start the market know they sell the market. Is there. If you are the first person to start the market, when you go tomorrow, they may name the market after you, but you don't have a shop. What Asiwaju Bola Tinubu did in Ogun State last week Thursday actually did, right, is chances. Now, beside that, someone else again went on a TV, national TV, and begin to describe a senior president as a tomato seller and a vice president as an ice cream seller because it's nice. These are the wrong, even if what your analogy is right, it is the wrong choice of words that do not sit well in a community, in a country where everything you say is misinterpreted. Everything you say, there is contextual meaning to it. Mm-hmm. And you saw how Vice President trended over the weekend, selling ice cream. People buying ice cream. Selling ice cream. People buy ice cream. People making him sell ice cream, drawing him in caricature.
Trust Nigerians, so at the end of always take those kind of things as a joke.
At the end of the day, Asiwaju is a man who usually take everything in his stride. He hardly speak. What Asiwaju did is exactly what Ambode did in 2019 election. The moment Ambode granted that press conference, everybody knew that he has lost the election. And that's what he has done. For me, I admire Asiwaju, what he has done. Yes, it's not enough for you to say, I'm a manager of men, I gather the best resources. What about the person that you gather? If you put him there, would he begin to
talking about what Asiwaju has done, really, because that is another side of the argument or the conversation on social media. What exactly has he done, for our democracy, if we're to put it that way, except for him being known as a godfather?
No.
Let me finish. Okay. I'm just saying what is being discussed on social media. A godfather to politicians with a very deep pocket. He has a very deep pocket, so he can front and actually push anybody he wants to and ensure that person actually caps the day. That's what I'm trying to say. But politically speaking, in terms of delivering service to the people, what has Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually done?
Okay, let me say this. What has he done? Bola Tinubu, if you read about him, he has come a long way. He's one of the Democrats. He's one of those who fight against military regime in this country. Mm-hmm. He's one of those who were on exile, still fighting, committing their resources to ensuring that military get out of power. He came into Lagos. He assembled some of the best brains, all right, in Lagos. He may not have done so much in the 8 years that he occupied. His 8 years was characterized by different deputies. He had 3 deputies in 8 years. All right? Mm-hmm. He had 3 deputies in 8 years. Now, when he came in, he's a man who can manage resources and human resources too, the material resources and human resources. A lot of people never knew, for me as a person, I never knew who was Fashola because I care less about who is somebody's chief of staff. I care less about it because your job is just to manage the person. You don't have anything to do apart from
more like a PA.
A PA. Just being responsible to the person there. So your effects does not get well. So he brought in Fashola, who transformed, who made Lagos look like some certain things that we thought would never happen. E.g., Oshodi. First and foremost was the place that we thought that nobody in this world can reform that place, can transform that place. He did it. When Fashola finished, nobody knew about Ambode. He brought Ambode. Right? Mm-hmm. Ambode did his best. Some of the bridges, thank goodness, the enjoyment that we have in Ableba where I live in now is courtesy Ambode because he started that bridge, one at the Jubilee Bridge and the one at Agege. Today there's no traffic. I drive just about 30 minutes from my house to Ikeja. I'm fine. Thank goodness for that. He didn't find Ambode worthy enough to continue. He brought his Sanwo-Olu. Sanwo-Olu is trying. Now, you may not, because a man cannot always do everything by himself. All right? An architect is not the one that built the house. They are the masons. They are the carpenter. They are the other people. His own is to say, okay, design. But at the end of the day, who are you going to give credit to when a building is beautiful? It's the architect.
True.
So the work of Asiwaju is the work of an architect. All right? Okay. But at this point, like I said, at this point, for you to lay claim to the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as your inheritance, that is where I find it very, very unfair of him coming out to say that the Yoruba has, in fact, forget about the Kogi in the North Central and the Kwara in the North Central. They are all Yoruba states. Kwara, Kogi, they are Yoruba states. And when you put them together, they are about 8 states. All right? Now, one person will come and say, it's my turn. No, it is not written. Even if it was written as a political statement for you to support somebody, they will change it.
The thing is, I want to make a point. Anyone in public office must be ready for insults, caricatures, as you called it. So if you're in public office and you're that sensitive, that if people insult you, you feel bad, then you're in the wrong profession. Go be a pastor, go eat popcorn and watch TV with your family. But if you come out in the public, people must insult you, and you live with it, okay? You have to have thick skin. So insulting the president to me is not wrong. Insulting the vice president is not wrong. They are politicians, and it's part of the job. It's like a boxer saying, I was punched in the face. If you're not punched in the face as a boxer, what do you expect? So it's part of it. But the thing is that Buhari proved himself very early that he is a vote getter. He had a party, CPC, that had no money, no machinery, no, was not really well known. But he got no structure, that's the word. But he got 12 million votes, which means the vote was for him, not for a structure, not for a system. And Ashwaju, as a good politician, realized if this man that is a vote getter gets the support of ACN, ANPP, and even a renegade group of APGA. Yeah, APGA.
I know, the bigger group was NPDP.
NPP. No, I don't know what's NPP.
New PDP comprises of the governors of River State.
Okay, the breakaway NPP.
Yes, that's what they call NPP.
So they all got together and elected the president. If the difference was 1 vote, it was still an essential vote. So because without the alliance,
you cannot overwhelmingly lay claim to that 1 vote.
Hold on a minute. If there was no alliance, Buhari had retired from politics, said, I'm not getting involved anymore. But as far as you brought him out of political retirement, and also gave him one very important advice: let your wife campaign. The people like the wife. He's very pretty and laid back, like calm, you know. So that, but with all that, he won. So what the difference is does not really matter. It's like you win an election with 45% of the vote, and your opponent wins with 43%. It's just 2%, but he's the victor. So that's the difference. So in that respect, Asuwaju did an outstanding job. But then to take it so personal, that if it's not me, nothing, nobody else. And he has consistently managed to get decent, responsible, sometimes committed individuals to run these Yoruba states. Unlike what we have in the southeast in Abia, a series of thieves running a state. We have that in Imo. In Enugu, it's been up, down, up, down.
That's your personal opinion.
Am I speaking for you before?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for myself.
Facts.
No,
let's exercise decorum.
Facts as determined,
even at that,
as defined by
let's exercise decorum.
No. In Anambra State, after Mbadinuju, we've done a good job. But so I think he has done quite a lot. He has done.
All right, permit me to interject here, Mr. Zukama. While you were speaking earlier, you mentioned political agreements.
Yes.
Okay, so let us come from the other side and see if what Asuwaju is actually demanding, is it really wrong? If he had a political agreement of some sort with this administration, that they were going to deliver presidency to him at the next general elections, would you still say he was wrong to have actually demanded what they agreed for?
A political agreement is neither here nor there, all right? when you look at the country today, even at the point of rotational presidency, everybody has gone mute. Everyone has gone mute. The Northerners are in the APC's contest as we speak, when they know that the person that is about to finish 8 years is from the North. Abi? So, the political agreement is at the altar of wanting to win an election. You can promise, like my father used to say, you can promise a woman everything, a motto, when at the point of saying, let us have this thing. You can say anything, but it cannot owe you to it. Because
so where's the place of loyalty
listen,
then?
forget about loyalty. Have you remembered, do you remember a woman called Koforola Bogno?
Yes, I do.
It was a powerful political woman in Lagos.
She was.
More powerful than Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. It was Asiwaju Bola Tinubu first deputy. I make bold to be corrected. All right? What happened to her? Because of the same political agreement, it was impeached in the first tenure of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, because he was asking for certain things that were decided before the election took place. So political agreement is nothing, and you cannot link to it. You cannot even bring. That is why we said, you remember the political agreement is like Ngige with Yubas. Before Ngige became the governor, he has already signed his resignation letter, and they are holding it, and the court couldn't honor that. They couldn't accept that.
I get what you mean.
Because it's unconstitutional. At the end of the day, if I promise a certain person, I promise Mr. Ezukama that when you help me become the governor of Lagos State, when I serve 8 years or 4 years, you come in. And in the process of serving 4 years, I discover a more brilliant person. I'm going to abandon that.
Wow.
Because every politician want their successors to continue from where they stop.
Okay, I get what you mean. So political agreements can change. Can change. I mean, like the popular saying, you can be a very good, fantastic. You could have lived a very fantastic life.
Of course.
By the end of the day, the number of people at your burial is dependent on the weather. All right, go ahead, Mr.
The thing is that there are no absolutes in life, and if you read the Bible, you see all God's promises being conditional. I will bless you in the city, I will bless you in the field, and all that.
Bless the work of your hand.
If
you I will bless the prayer of your mouth.
There's always a condition. If so, there may have been such an agreement, and in that case, he might be right. He might have the moral authority to stand by the agreement. But what of 8 years in politics is such a long time. So much could have happened. Yes. Yeah. And the people you're trying to be their president, their mindset, their attitude, their political awareness
could have even shifted
so
that
much
period of time
that the agreement becomes irrelevant.
Wow.
And that might have been what happened. Maybe from the start, the Buhari and co were ready to honor this agreement, but so much has changed. So the agreement becomes irrelevant. So therefore, you play along with this reality, the existing reality. But whatever it is, he should not put his personal interest, ambition, agenda above the national good.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ezukama. Thank you, Chief of Force. Now, like I mentioned before, the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has actually described Tinubu's outburst as insulting and unbecoming of an APC leader. And presidential aspirant Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself says he has great respect for President Muhammadu Buhari, and he will never denigrate him. Now, Tinubu said this in a statement he personally signed last week, Friday, all right, because a lot of people were saying his statements were actually denigrating. But he's come out to say he does have respect for the president and will never, ever denigrate him. All right, let's take some messages. This one here is from Ugonna Eric, says Nigerians will elect their president in 2023. Osibajo is a professor. Fayemi holds a doctorate. They are Yorubas and eminently qualified for the job. Nobody should have an entitlement mentality or a birthright position to the presidency. Certain statements overheat the polity. easy does it. Thank you, Eric. All right, this other one here says, Auntie P, for once, I am in agreement with Godi, your guest speaker. Actually, Bola Tinubu has shot himself in the foot. Nigeria is not the property of anybody to say it's his turn to be president. This other one coming in, Ikenna Achu from Jos in Plateau State says Tinubu is a saint in his comment compared to earlier comments from APC leaders before 2015, like making governance ungovernable if they did not win. The country soaking with blood. Please leave Tinubu alone. He's a saint compared to other APC leaders. Check what former governor of Borno State says about Buhari's kinsmen rejecting Buhari. And remember, Tinubu promised to fight dirty. So, madam, what again do you expect from the APC leader? I'm still a learner as far as APC is concerned. Thank you, Ikenna Achu, for your contribution. This other one is from Antonia, and she says Tinubu can desire the position of presidency, but as far as Nigerians are concerned, especially the youths, PDP and APC are not going anywhere. Wow. Because many of their presidential candidates lack credibility and the parties caused the present problems we are in, and they don't have any solution to the problems. All right, this other one quickly is from, Dio, my friend. You know, every time you send a message, I have to take a few seconds to go through it before I read. So permit me to do just that. Okay, so Daya from Fagba says, good afternoon. Pride goes before a fall and a haughty spirit before destruction. God wants to expose their arrogance and power show. This is somebody who bred Agberus and used them for elections, snatching boxes and intimidating the people. That's why people are afraid to vote. These people have ruined Nigeria. A big shame. That one is from Dayo from Fagba. All right, Ogakpo is here. Ogakpo says, please, we need 45 years down for president. Okay. Okay. All right, we do have some messages on WhatsApp. Maybe we'll get back to that in a bit. We'll get back to that. Because of time, let's quickly run along to other issues. So, like I said, Tinubu's video has been trending since last week, Thursday. And talking about Nigerians playing so much, we all saw the caricature and all of the funny comments made over the popcorn and ice cream seller, you know, thing on social media. Also, there are posters of the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, and underneath the poster on social media, you see written the Elei of Ogun State.